On a chilly November evening in 2019, officers from Dublin's Garda National Drugs and Organised Crime Bureau set out on a pivotal operation destined to reshape the city's underworld. Informed by critical intelligence, their target was a residential property in Woodford Grove, Clondalkin. Unbeknownst to them, this night would become a landmark in their ongoing battle against organised crime. Welcome to the Pursuit of Perpetrators channel, where I unravel the veiled tales of cryptic crimes. Upon entering the main residence and conducting a thorough search, the team uncovered a modest shed hidden at the end of the garden. Tension escalated as they noticed shadows moving within. "Armed Garda, armed police," they announced, slicing through the quiet of the night as they stormed the shed, weapons drawn. Inside, they encountered two individuals seated on a dilapidated sofa. Among them was Trevor Byrne, a notorious figure known for his formidable criminal activities. With their firearms aimed, the officers commanded the men to give themselves up. Byrne, however, remained eerily still, his gaze fixed on the officers. Despite repeated warnings and no response, the Gardaí eventually holstered their guns, apprehended the men, and subdued them on the ground. That night marked a significant triumph in Dublin's crackdown on organised crime, as they apprehended one of the Kinahan cartel's most infamous enforcers. In the run-up to Christmas 2020, Trevor Byrne was handed a 9-year prison sentence for firearms offences. This verdict came after officers discovered a loaded 9mm pistol hidden beneath the couch he was seated on during the 2019 raid in Clondalkin. The DNA found on the firearm matched Byrne's, leading to his guilty plea at the Special Criminal Court. He asserted that he possessed the weapon for self-protection due to threats on his life, which he claimed had previously forced him to flee Ireland in 2016. However, mere months following his 9-year sentence, Byrne found himself embroiled in further legal troubles. He was accused in relation to a failed armed robbery at Boyle Sports, a betting shop located in Applewood Village, Swords, County Dublin. The incident, which took place in 2010, involved Byrne hijacking a woman's car at gunpoint and threatening her life. His conviction was secured when it was established that a mobile phone dropped at the robbery scene belonged to him, and he was identified from CCTV footage. Consequently, Byrne received a cumulative sentence of 17.5 years for both the firearm offences and the armed robbery. This wasn't Byrne's first encounter with lengthy incarceration. In 2005, he had been sentenced to 8 years for orchestrating a bold robbery at an off-licence. During this episode, he held 10 Garda officers at gunpoint and commandeered a patrol car. In a dramatic getaway, he escaped in a taxi after threatening the driver with a gun, all while being pursued by the Gardaí. Merely 4 months after his release from prison, in November 2009, Trevor Byrne committed the notorious Swords robbery. His life story is marked by episodes of violence, betrayal, and daring criminal acts that have profoundly impacted the city. However, Byrne's infamy extends beyond his violent actions. He managed a profitable drug operation in Finglas for the Kinahan Cartel, a role that brought him both respect and fear. Under the guidance of Glenn David Ward, also known as Mr. Flashy, who took the reins in Finglas in 2017, the Gucci gang led by Ward continued to instill fear in the area. Byrne also came under intense scrutiny as a prime suspect in the 2014 shooting of John Gilligan, a notorious crime figure who accused Byrne of attempting his assassination in both 2013 and 2014. The hostility between Byrne and Gilligan dates back to their time in Port Louise prison, where Byrne reportedly attacked Gilligan, an assault believed to have been ordered by Brian the Tosser Meehan in retaliation for an interview Gilligan had given to the media. Despite Gilligan's accusations, Byrne was never charged in connection with these attempts on his life. Furthermore, Byrne is suspected of playing a significant role in the violent Kinahan-Hutch feud, which brought terror to the streets of Dublin. His involvement was highlighted during the brutal murder of Eddie Neddy Hutch, brother of Jerry the Monk Hutch, just 3 days after the infamous 2016 Regency hotel shooting. Neddy was ambushed by 4 men as he returned home from his job as a taxi driver around 7:45 p.m. The attackers, emerging from a BMW, shot him multiple times before pursuing him into his house and fatally shooting him in the hallway, while his wife was also present in the home. Trevor Byrne was arrested in May 2016 and detained for interrogation at Mountjoy Garda station. He was among the first 9 individuals apprehended in connection with the murder, having been swiftly pinpointed as a suspect. Nevertheless, he was released without any charges being filed against him, managing to walk away unscathed. Despite this, the whispers about his involvement did not cease. Rumours persisted, continuing to reverberate through the alleyways of Dublin. After his release, Trevor Byrne left Ireland and was believed to be residing in the UK. However, just as Dublin thought it had seen the last of him, Byrne made a sudden reappearance on the city's streets, having returned to Ireland shortly before his 2019 arrest. By April 2023, while serving a 17.5-year sentence at Mountjoy Prison, Byrne was arrested again for the murder of Kinahan-Hutch, suspected of being one of the gunmen involved. The case continues to unfold. Despite being behind bars, Byrne's influence remained undiminished. Within the walls of Mountjoy Prison, he embraced his notorious reputation, forming alliances with other members of the Kinahan Cartel. An album of photographs taken in the high-security prison circulated online, showcasing Byrne seemingly unbroken by confinement, celebrating life with his fellow inmates. These images captured Byrne's 40th birthday celebrations alongside several notable Kinahan Cartel members, including Kevin Gibson, Graham Garden, Glenn Tomps, and Robert Brown. Gibson, a close associate of senior cartel figure Liam Byrne, was serving a 7-year term for orchestrating a €280,000 cocaine smuggling operation. Garden, known as the Master Gardener within the cartel circles, was serving a 9-year sentence for possessing an arsenal of firearms seized during a Garda operation aimed at the Kinahan gang in 2016. It was believed these weapons were intended for use against an associate of Jerry the Monks Hutch. Thompson Brown, the latter a former British Army soldier, received sentences of 17.5 years and 11.5 years respectively for firearms possession. They, along with Thompson's brother Gary, were apprehended in a van in an underground car park just 250 meters away from the home of their intended target, Patrick "Patsy" Hutch, another brother of Jerry the Monks Hutch. Garda intelligence has long established Byrne's connections with Dublin-based associates of the Kinahan cartel. Years ago, the veteran gangster was forced to rely on his cartel associates for protection against the notorious crime boss, Eamon the Don Dunn. Byrne was closely connected to the late John Daly, a fingerless criminal known for his volatile temper and propensity to speak out of turn. Daly was fatally shot in 2007 amid concerns that he was encroaching on Dunn's turf in North Dublin. It is alleged that Eamon Dunn, alongside hitman Paddy Doyle and the imprisoned Fat Freddie Thompson, paid €10,000 to orchestrate Daly's murder. After his release from prison in December 2009, Byrne found himself at odds with Dunn once again. Dunn demanded Byrne's assistance in setting up another criminal, John Paul Joyce, to demonstrate his loyalty. Instead of complying, Byrne sought protection from the cartel through his then ally Gary Hutch. Hutch facilitated contact with Daniel Kinahan, who agreed to relocate Byron to the Costa del Sol. Despite Byrne's refusal to cooperate, Dunn proceeded to kill John Paul Joyce, before meeting his own demise in April of the following year. This chain of violence underscores the perilous intertwining of loyalties and betrayals within Dublin's criminal underworld. Byrne's refusal to participate in the setup against John Paul Joyce and his subsequent flight to the Costa del Sol under the auspices of the Kinahan cartel marked a significant moment in his criminal career, highlighting his strategic alliances and the protective umbrella provided by higher echelons within the cartel. Even as Byrne settled in Spain, the repercussions of his past actions continued to ripple through Dublin's streets, illustrating the enduring reach and influence of organised crime networks. The cycle of retaliation and power struggles remained a persistent threat, affecting not only those entrenched in the criminal world, but also innocents caught in the crossfire. As Byrne navigated his new life under the protection of the Kinahan cartel in Spain, back in Dublin, the landscape of organised crime continued to evolve, with new alliances forming and old ones fracturing. This ever-shifting dynamic further complicated the efforts of law enforcement to dismantle these networks and bring enduring peace to the communities plagued by violence and fear. Byrne's story, with its mix of strategic maneuvering and brutal consequences, remains a stark reminder of the deep-seated challenges facing those who seek to disrupt the cycles of crime and retribution that have long shadowed Dublin's history. Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. If you found my investigative analysis insightful, please be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the Pursuit of Perpetrators channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon too, so you'll get notified each time I release a new video. I appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until then, stay curious and keep seeking truth.